Yes, guys, everything bite-sized here. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're back with another film review, and we're going to be looking at the legendary, the infamous, the one and only TV series, Lost. It's very polarizing. You seem to either love it or hate it, but I'm going to suspend my thoughts till the end of the video, and first we're going to look at a couple of the top-rated reviews on IMDb. The first review is titled, "An experimental TV show that is tuned for the future TV viewers," and it's got a warning for spoilers, so keep that in mind, spoiler alert. Lost is a cool experimental TV series. It's been wrongly labelled as a simple concoction of well-known stories, for example Lord of the Flies or The Beach. Due to its complexity, you feel lost at times. The unnumbered flashbacks, which were conceived as a novelty at first, have turned off many unprepared viewers. A few flashbacks didn't seem to contribute to the overall plot and only broke the flow of the story, especially when the viewers were eager to know more about what's happening on the island. Admittedly, they helped build the characters and explain their behaviours though, and the choices they made, but in a very short-lived manner. I had an impression that the series was written and rewritten as it was filmed. At times, the characters, instead of the stories, explain the rationales to patch up the illogical parts. The quirky, thus interesting characters dominated the latter part of the show, and the initial two main characters seemed to fade into the background. There was a lot of character pruning throughout the show. Introducing new characters at the latter part of the show was a mistake. It only confused the viewers. This shows that the script probably wasn't complete before the shooting had started. Lost played with the ideas of alternate realities, time travel, multi-worlds, life after death, and spiritual worlds. This complicated the plots, but I commend the bravery and its nice execution. For me, the most fascinating thing about Lost is the philosophical questions it imposed on us. Do you have someone or somewhere to go back to? How far are you willing to go to save yourself or your loved ones? Is having a faith, blind or not, better than having no faith at all? Can you really get away from your past? Do you really know the people you wholeheartedly trust? Okay, this one's called Rewatching During the Lockdown. It's awesome how good the series has aged. Seeing it all again also made some storylines make much more sense. I even think the ending makes much more sense now. That's something I was totally blind to for the first time I've seen it. It's an awesome series that paved the way for the beautiful landscape of high quality TV series we enjoy today. This is the last review I'm going to read because it's quite long, but it's called Chilling, Atmospheric and Addictive. If the writers can weave all the clues and ideas together in the end, this will probably be stapled as the best show ever in television. Wow, that's quite a strong title. Let's carry on reading. While originally reluctant to jump on the bandwagon of watching Lost, I accidentally caught one episode at the beginning of season 1, the one with the polar bear, and it has had my undivided attention ever since. Lost takes a simple idea of a passenger flight full of people crashing onto a desert island and gradually adds extraordinary depth to its premise by exploring each character deeply and unflinchingly. What drives them? Who are they? Where did they come from? It soon becomes clear that the island upon which they are stranded acts as a common denominator for many things in their lives, whether they're running away from something or getting in touch with spirituality. But Lost also zooms in on the island itself and the mysterious horrors that it houses, and they all seem to be strangely connected. While television actors are not exactly known for their subtlety or dazzling acting ability, most of the cast of Lost are, in truth, spectacular actors for their respective parts, projecting heart and humour in their performances. There's also a multitude of eye candy, but not generally of the plastic Hollywood kind as most TV shows. The characters all feel very real and they're extremely compelling to watch. Their interactions rarely fall prey to predictable sappiness, petty arguments or cheesy melodrama, although they are annoyingly secretive. These people are first and foremost trying to survive. Imagine a tree as the template plot. Then the tree branches as subplots, in this case one branch for every character. Lost adds twigs to each branch and then tiny twigs to those twigs as other storylines. If you're a brother/sister to one of the main characters in the flashbacks, you will get your own storyline. If you're a dog, you will have your own storyline. Unless the writers manage to weave them all together into some glorious culmination in the end, they are setting themselves up for failure. I am more than a little worried there will be some disappointing cop-out to this show, as I'm sure most people are. But assuming that the writers do pull this off, Lost is probably the best show ever to hit television. 9 out of 10. Wow, so those were some very strong reviews. So my own thoughts. I'm surprised no one's mentioned this about how polarizing Lost is. It makes you either love it or hate it. And if you love it, you get gripped into it. You will skank every episode as there are days, hours in the day. I'm not even joking. Every time I rewatch it, I must have seen it all the way through about 5 or 6 times at least. And each time I binge it as if I'm watching it for the first time. There's so much that happens in the plot that it's new every time you watch it because there's so much going on, and as mentioned above, like, you pick up on stuff you didn't pick up on before, and more things make sense. Don't get me wrong, it is absolutely bombastic in a way, like it's in a quite a in an interesting way. It's what I mean by that is it's very audacious. It's not very there's something about it that's just not quite right. Like how deep they go, it feels a bit too much sometimes. But I think it's a work of art. They bit off more than they could chew, and they tried to do more than what they could pull off, in my opinion. But what they did pull off was amazing. It's very creative. It's enigmatic. It makes you think, and it's got action and suspense. You're on the edge of your seat. It's also got romance. It's got literally everything you could want out of a TV series. And the action is very, very gripping. And I personally love the cutscenes. I love it when they go back and show them in normal life. I get what the guy was saying though. It is a bit too frequent sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't seem to help at all. But it's interesting nonetheless. It's shot beautifully. It is absolutely beautiful. It's future proof because it's a nice resolution. It's amazing. I remember not wanting to watch this because it was I don't usually like watching really popular shows, but some shows are popular for a reason. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. You've been locked into Everything Bite Size. Go and check out Lost. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.